Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see about three things. First one is about ornithopters, second one is difference between biplanes and monoplanes, and the third final one is the history of flight. In this history of flight we are going to see about the three main inventors in our aeronautical history. First one is ornithopter. Ornithopter means bird's wing. We all know that birds are uses its flapping wings. Similarly, this ornithopter also uses the flapping wings, that means reciprocating motion, to fly in the air. The airplanes and the helicopters uses the rotating propellers, right? The airplanes use a fixed wing as well as the rotating propellers in the engines. Helicopters uses the rotating blades on the top of the main body. But this ornithopter uses the flapping wing to imitate the birds. It having three types. First one is free flight ornithopter. It is a small toy-like ornithopter powered by a rubber band. And then second one is radio controlled ornithopter. It is also a small size ornithopter, but it is powered by electric motor and battery. Its wingspan is range from 10 cm to the size of an eagle. That is micro air vehicles, called as micro air vehicles. It is controlled by radio and the tail portion is used for steering. And then third type is manned ornithopters. To give a successful flight to this manned ornithopter, we still need an advanced technology. Okay. Greek myth of Daedalus and Icarus. That is, Icarus is the son of Daedalus. They both were imprisoned in island, and then they are tried to escape from that prison, and they are using the wax wing to escape from that island. This is a myth in the Greek. And then Leonardo da Vinci made many drawings about ornithopters in his manuscript. And then Adalbert Smith, he built the first manned ornithopter in 1942. And then our next segment, second segment, is difference between biplanes and monoplanes. First of all, aircraft having two wings known as biplanes. But these two wings have to place top of each other. Monoplanes means the planes having single wing. That is, bi means two, mono means one, right? And then the biplanes have the strong structure with lightweight, means biplanes have two wings, right? So it can able to withstand the reaction of the air easily by using this two wings. So it only needs some simple lightweight material. There is no need for the strongest material, the heavyweight material. But in the monoplanes, it having single wing, so it needs some heavyweight strongest material. But nowadays we can able to get the strongest material with lightweight. So we can make the single wing with more strength and lightweight. And then another advantage of two wing in the biplane is it only needs shorter wingspan. By this shorter wingspan, it can able to add the more stiffness to the wings. But in monoplane, stiffness low because of its longer wingspan. Biplanes are slower, but monoplanes are faster than biplanes. But biplanes, even though it is slower, biplanes are stable than monoplanes. We all know that in the top of the wing always lower pressure, in the bottom of the wing always higher pressure. But in this biplane, it have the place between top and the bottom wing, right? In it, it is the place that the bottom of the top wing and the top of the bottom wing. So in that place, the air will interfere and create a disturbance. But in monoplanes, there is no such problems because it only have single wing. To provide stiffness in the aircraft, the two wings of biplane are connected by struts, but the air will get disturbance from the struts and create more drag. That is why these planes are slower. Monoplanes are also have some drag, but not as much of biplanes. Okay. Biplanes having two wings means four ailerons. These four ailerons gives more stability during the rolling action. So the biplane can able to turn faster than the monoplanes. Comparatively, monoplanes have slower roll rate. The stability is high in biplane. So It have greater maneuverability, but monoplanes have less maneuverability. Biplanes are slow and steady. Also, it can able to create more lift at a very low airspeeds. So, it can able to take off in the short runway. But the monoplanes, it cannot able to produce the more lift in the lower speed. So, it need longer runway. Biplanes dissipate less energy during landing because it is very slow. So it needs less energy to reach a full stop. But monoplanes dissipate more energy during landing. Even though biplanes having many advantages, it not commercially used because of its high drag. It only used in air show industry and in aerobatic training. But monoplanes are now commonly used. And then we are moving to our third segment, that is history of flight. All early human beings were thinking about flight to imitate the birds. In ancient medieval period also, people tried to fly with flapping wings, but they were always unsuccessful. Okay. The first important person in our history, aeronautical history, is Leonardo da Vinci. His period is 1486 to 1490, that is 15th century. He also designs an ornithopter, vast number of ornithopters, and then in his manuscripts you can able to see 3500 words and nearly 500 sketches about flight. This is the one sketch of Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. He built or tested any flight, any ornithopter or any other aircrafts not known. Also, his efforts did not give any contribution to the technical advancement of flight, but his works shows the interest on flying to the human being. Okay. And then Montgolfier brothers, his period is 1783. We already saw about them in the hot air balloon in our first class, right? And they are Joseph Montgolfier and Etienne Montgolfier. In 1782, they had an idea to use the lifting power of hot air to lift a person, that is to fly in the air. And then they did many experiments with the hot air without a human passenger and many experiments. In 1783, they built and flew their first hot air balloon with human passengers. This is their first hot air balloon. This hot air balloon made no technical contribution to the heavier than air aircraft, but it was like a revolution in lighter than air aircraft. Okay, these are all the things about Montgolfier brothers. And then third and most important person in our aeronautical history is Sir George Cayley. His period is 1773 to 1857. He is a true inventor of the airplane and parent of modern aviation, the first true aeronautical engineering. We already saw that from ancient to Leonardo da Vinci, all the people are used flapping wings, and also they felt that this flapping wings will produce the both lift and propulsion, but these were unsuccessful. Okay. But Sir George Cayley said that the fixed wing only produce the lift instead of flapping wings. Also, we need separate mechanism for propulsion and horizontal vertical tail for stability. These three concepts are different. He said that three different concepts, and we need different mechanism to manage these all things. In 1796, he did some model helicopter experiments. And then in 1799, he drew his fixed wing concept on the silver disc. This is the silver disc. This is the front side. He drew the fixed wing concept in the front side of the disc, and this is the back side of silver disc. This shows the forces from this fixed wing. Okay. In 1804, he built a whirling apparatus to test the airfoils. This is a whirling apparatus. This forearm, this is airfoil. The results from this apparatus is not accurate because after some revolution, the surrounding air began to rotate with the apparatus. Even though it was not accurate, it is the first step in aerodynamic testing. In 1804 itself, he designed, built and flew the model glider with a fixed wing and adjustable horizontal and vertical tail. This is a simple model glider. It is fixed wing. It is a tail portion. Between 1809 to 1810, he released one paper with the name on aerial navigation. It is also called as triple paper because it is released in 3 different months between 1809 to 1810. That is in November 1809, February 1810, another one is March 1810. This paper having all the ideas of Sir George Cayley about aeronautics. That is principle of separation of lift and propulsion, use of fixed wing to generate lift, surface inclined some angle to the direction of motion to generate lift. That is angle of attack. And then camber surface 2 for lift. The lift is generated by the region of low pressure in the upper surface of wing. Flight control, horizontal vertical tail plane for flight stability, use of flappers for propulsion. These all are the things in the important ideas of Cayley was released in that particular triple paper. Also, he mentions about the first full-size successful glider of history, built and flown without passengers. But there is no configuration about this glider. Okay, this all are the things about triple paper. And then between 1810 to 1843, in this 33 years, he not had any big interest on aeronautics. He only having the interest on airships. But he was not built or tested any airships. Okay. He explored about airships in that period. He said that airships will come into use before mechanical flight. It's true. In 1852 itself, the airship by a steam engine came into use before the first successful airplane by Wright brothers in 1903. That means before 50 years, the airships came into use. And then in 1849, he built and tested the powered airplane. A 10-year-old boy was carried in this airplane. That's why it's called as the boy carrier. It is a full-size airplane with a triple wing and powered by propulsive flappers. See this picture. This is the boy carrier. This is the front portion, flappers and landing gears, tail portion, 3 triple wings and this fuselage at all. Okay. And then after the triple paper, his another paper was published in Mechanics magazine in 1852. In this paper, he gave the full description of a large human carrying glider with all modern airplanes features. Okay. Adjustable tail for longitude and direction stability, pilot operator, elevator radar, fuselage, tubular and box beam construction. These all features are about this particular human carrying glider. In between Cayley and Wright brothers, there are many inventors in aeronautical history, but these features about this human carrying gliders not be seen until Wright brothers designs. Okay, even it had all the detailed descriptions, this paper went unnoticed. In 1853, Cayley built and flew the world's first human carrying glider, but its configuration, the details of this human carrying glider is not known. In 1857, he died. In his lifetime, he made huge contribution to the aeronautical engineering, but after his death, his works became obscure to the other inventors, to the subsequent inventors. Also, the subsequent inventors are not take any efforts to explore the ideas of Cayley, but his contribution is like ocean. Thank you.